Magandang araw po sa inyo mga kabansa. Kayo po ay nasa Iparas kay Paras at ito ay inyong likodado Paglinawan ng bumabati sa inyo. Secretary, batiin mo na rin ang ating mga tagapanood.
Magandang araw po muli mga kababayan. Magandang araw paring Ado. Magandang araw mga kababayan, lalo na po yung napinsala sa bagyo doon sa probinsya ng mga probinsya ng Bicol Region, Camarines Sur, Camarines Norte, Albay, Naga City, at iba pang karatig na probinsya, Catanduanes and so on. At alam mo, wala ka bang napansin doon na maliban doon sa Pangulo na walang nagawa at parang helpless, habang ang ating mga taong bayan ay lubog na lubog sa tubig, walang pagkain, walang ilaw, pero ang masabi lang ng Pangulo at tumingin kay Rimulya, what can we do here?
Anong gagawin natin?
Ano bang gagawin natin? Tapos nung una, anong sinabi niya? Let us wait. Let us wait. Oo. Na humupa ang bagyo. Paano pa hintayin mo para patay na lahat? Humupa. Wala kang gagawin.
For it to pass.
So, pero habang nandoon ang ating Pangulo, habang nandoon ang mga kabinete, wala ka bang napansin na taga roon pero walang silbi, hindi man lang tumulong?
Conspicuously absent.
And do you know who's that person?
Ayan, ang ating Senate President Chis Escudero.
So, are you positive that this guy did not help his constituents in Bicol, especially now that he is supposed to be powerful and influential and may have the resources? Hindi man lang tumulong sa kanyang region. Mabuti pa yung ginang Leni Robredo.
Oo.
Na
tumubog sa baha. Nagdi-distribute ng
tumulong at lumubog sa baha para yakapin ang mga tao. Ito nga dapat sana ang naging Pangulo ng ating bansa. Maski dilawan yan, mas malaki ang tiwala ko dyan, abogada. Maski dilawan ito si Ginang Leni, kung hindi lang itong si Inday Sara na tumulong at pinagbigyan itong ang kapatid ng kasalukuyang Pangulo, si Amy Marcos, at hinihikayat ang tulong ni Sara, baka by now it should have been Leni Robredo who should have been president, or it could even be Manny Pacquiao for that matter. Pero ngayon, ito na ang Pangulo, 3 taon na, at happened to the flood control na pinagyayabang niya sa Senado, sa SONA. At itong pinagsasabi mo nga, paling Ado, na hindi man tumulong, daldal ng daldal. Mali pa yung dinadaldal dito sa interview niya. Ito, pakinggan natin itong Eagle Bieber na magbigay ng kanyang legal opinion tungkol sa nangyayari.
Hinihimay na yan sa ngayon marahil ng iba't ibang sektor. Ang malaking pinagkaiba kasi, kung mapapansin nyo, karamihan naman ng sinabi niya kahapon, sinasabi din naman niya nung siya'y Pangulo pa. Parang wala namang bago, di ba? Ang pagkakaiba lang, nung sinasabi niya nung presidente man siya o pagkatapos siya maging presidente, o bago siya naging presidente nung siya'y mayor, ito'y sinabi sa isang talumpati, sa isang interview. Ang pinagkaiba kahapon, lahat ng binitiwan niyang salita kahapon ay under oath, pinanumpaan. At sinabi niya, yan ay totoo sa abot ng kanyang nalalaman na pwedeng magamit kung sakasakali pabor o laban sa kanya. Yun yung malaking pagkakaiba.
Paring Ado, ano bang perception mo dito sa bata-bata ni Marcos na Senate President.
Mahilig.
Wala daw kaibahan. May kaibahan na daw ngayon kaysa dati. Noong nagsasabi pa daw si Pangulong Duterte ng mga binitawan niyang salita, hindi daw under oath. Ngayon under oath na. Paano magkakaiba? Nagbago ba ang ebidensya? Napaka-bopols naman itong tao na ito. What is the importance of the oath that the president took during the hearing? Will it change the facts of the case?
Siya nagsabi, walang pagbabago, di ba? Yung din daw ang sinabi, except
Wala lang pagbabago. Yung
Consistent.
sinabi ni Presidente Duterte,
consistent si Duterte.
yun din ang sinabi sa hearing, except that this is now under oath. Yun ang sinasabi niya.
Lahat yan, public statements.
Paano naman? Alam mo, mga kababayan,
Grabe.
wala saysay itong sinasabi nitong si Isko. Why? Because if they have evidence before, 3 years nang hindi presidente si Duterte. So kung sinasabi mo na sinasabi na niya yan noon sa mga talumpati, sa mga ganyan, so ibig sabihin, nagsabi na siya ng mga supposed to be allegations na yan. So, his immunity has already been
Superseded.
removed. So, anyone can file if he said and mentioned those things and act on those things. Pero, paano hindi nila mapausad? Why? Because alam mo, Mr. Escudero, nag-aral naman tayo sa College of Law, UP College of Law. I don't know if absent ka ba nung tinuro itong law on evidence. Nagbabase yan sa ebidensya. Not on the oath. Because if you have the evidence, then you file. When Duterte files his counter affidavit, it will be under oath. So what's the difference now?
At mas may asim yun dahil judicial oath yun. Ito, legislative lang.
Muro-muro lang ninyo yan. Tapos, yun daw ang difference ngayon. Kaya nga sabi ni Duterte, file a case against me. Alam mo, doon sa isang episode na pinag-usapan natin during the course of the hearing, has Duterte ever said or has Duterte ever admitted that he perpetrated a crime? That he himself was the perpetrator of the crime?
That he committed.
Or there was someone, a policeman, an officer,
Under his direct order.
under his direct order, who is now willing to testify na inutusan ako ni Duterte na patayin itong mga drug lords na ito, patayin. Was there ever a policeman na sinabi na inutusan ako ni Duterte patayin yung tatay ni Espinosa doon sa presuhan? Was there ever police officer that says that may kinalaman si Duterte sa pagpatay ng isang drug lord?
Who can stand in court.
Who can stand in court, and that's why Duterte is kampante to tell you, and Mr. Escudero, kung nandoon ka lang sana, Puro ka lang daldal dyan sa labas, hindi ka naman umaten. Unlike Subiri before, who was hands-on, you would have noticed all what Duterte has said.
Miski makinig ka lang, di ba?
Nakinig ka lang sana. Kasi noong panahon ni Duterte, wala ka namang kibo. Ngayon, porque bata-bata ka na ni Marcos, ang dami mo nang sinasabi. I want to see the files. I want to see the records of the hearing. And parang feeling ko this time Duterte will get it. Well, produce your evidence that Duterte has perpetrated a crime. Kung sinasabi lang na patayin nyo. You have to pinpoint a specific act that this particular police na inutusan na patayin, at saka there must be a specific person na pag sinabi lang na patayin yan, ubusin yan, saan ang crime doon? It is just his mere strategy in order to be successful in his war on drugs. Part of his strategies, instead of deploying a lot of people, he wants to threaten them. He wants to scare them. Because sometimes scaring or threatening people, hihinto yan. Di ba, after the Tokhang operation, mayroon pa bang mga sindikato na people in slum areas can walk on the street at night without being afraid. So, anong difference? Ini-emphasize niya sa media na ang difference daw ngayon kasi under oath. Sir, under oath man yan, maski 20 times nag-under oath si Duterte doon, kung wala kang ebidensyang ipipresenta, that will never hold water. So the difference is not in the under oath or not under oath. The difference is yung sinabi niya lahat noon na presidente siya at sinabi niya uli ngayon under oath will not matter because you have to produce an evidence that he did these crimes and you have to produce witnesses.
Ang nababasa ko rito, Secretary, si Escudero is trying to elevate it, no? Towards building a case against Duterte. Ang isang hindi na-take up dito ay yung mga 6 to 7,000 lang ang may corpus delicti rito sa mga
body of the crime.
Napatay daw, napatay daw under the drug.
Kaya nga pinagtawanan na
stretch ng media to 30,000.
Pinagtawanan na niya si yung partner niya. Alam mo kasi malapit ito si Escudero at saka si Hontiveros. Way back when we were in the minority in Congress, in the House, where I lost 3 votes against him to become minority leader kasi tinulungan siya ni Erap Estrada on the last hour. That's why me and Ronnie Zamora lost to him in the minority leadership. Ang friendly sila nitong si Hontiveros.
Sino ang presidente nun, Secretary?
Si GMA.
GMA.
We were in the opposition then. Kasi I was for Fernando Po. At ito si Escudero, with due respect, he used the name of Fernando Po. Siya daw yung spokesman, kaya nanalo. Otherwise, wala naman itong ibang quality except that ginamit niya, dahil at that time, Fernando Po was very popular. During the campaign, minsan nagsasalita siya, pero there was really no official statement from the group of Angara, from the group of Tito Soto, that ikaw ang spokesman ni FPJ. Ha?
Sumakay lang siya.
Sumakay lang at ginamit niya to gain
Visibility.
and use it to run senator. Kaya at that time Binay was the head of the opposition, kinuha siya as one of the senatorial candidate. But anyway, going back to this issue, with due respect, wala namang kabalbalan itong sinasabi niya. At pinapalabas pa niya sa media that he was telling them that mabibigti yan si Duterte kasi hindi, this time is under oath. Well, produce your evidence that Duterte did these killings.
And file a case sa judiciary.
Oo.
Para magka-closure.
Hindi puro daldal. Kasi sa next hearing daw, I don't think Duterte will even appear in your next hearing. He has said a point. He has already denied that he has something to do with the killings. He is not aware of the so-called Davao Death Squad, that he has never ordered the police to kill. So, lahat yan nandoon na doon sa transcript of record. Tapos, napaka-petty pa nitong si Escudero. Dahil friendly sila ni Ontiveros, sinakyan niya si Ontiveros to question Duterte's expletive. Duterte never uttered a word. Pakinggan natin itong mayroong isang comment tungkol dito sa sinasabi ni Hontiveros at ni Escudero na nag-violate daw si Duterte ng rules on ethical conduct in the Senate by uttering putang ina. Iba yung putang ina at putang ina mo. Putang ina was part of Duterte's testimony in emphasizing that he said these words while he was telling the policemen, while he was telling his people that putang ina, or it was
Expression of anger.
Expression of anger against criminals. Putang ina nyo, papatayin ko kayo. Is that an expletive words of violating the ethics? It's part of his testimony. Inimbitan nyo siya. Binigyan nyo ng leeway. Even, alam mo kasi, magkaiba ito si Escudero at saka si Pimentel. Si Pimentel is a bright guy. He's a top-notcher. He is also from UP. He was also a Senate President. And magkaiba ang kanilang kakayahan. Si Coco Pimentel, naging Senate President din yan He knows whether Duterte was violating the code of ethics or not. That's why he never even called the attention until Hontiveros was pounding as if mayroon siyang basihan.
Moral ascendancy.
Pakinggan natin muna ito, mga kababayan. Kasi may sinasite na kaso, may sinasite na rules. Okay. At we will explain to you that Escudero, who says that Duterte must have uttered words that violate the Senate rules on ethical standard, walang kinalaman yung pinagdadaldal niya sa mga sinasabi ni Duterte. Ito, pakinggan natin.
Attorney Andrew, bawal ba ang magsabi ng putang ina mo sa pagdinig ng Senado o sa House of Representatives?
Hello there, this is Attorney Andrew. Uttering the words putang ina mo, which is translated to English as your mother is a whore, is not necessarily a criminal act. This is the decision of the Supreme Court in the cases of Reyes versus People of the Philippines and Pater versus People of the Philippines. In those cases, it was ruled that the expression putang ina mo is a common enough utterance in the dialect that is often employed, not really to slander but rather to express anger or displeasure. In fact, more often, it is just an expletive that punctuates one's expression of profanity. However, if this expletive is uttered in the Senate or House of Representatives, it may be considered a violation of Article 144 of the Revised Penal Code or disturbance of proceedings. This felony is committed by any person who disturbs the meetings of the Senate or House of Representatives or any of its committees or subcommittees or in the presence of any such bodies. It is also violated if a person should behave in such manner as to interrupt its proceedings or to impair the respect due to it.
Ilagay natin yung Article 144. I-analyze natin kung applicable ba ito sa ginawa ni Duterte na pagsabi na putang ina, okay? While in the course of the hearing. The crime of disturbance of proceedings is committed by any person who disturb the meetings of Congress or of any of its committee or subcommittee, constitutional commission or committee or division thereof, or of any provincial board or city or municipal council or board, or in the presence of any such body, should behave in such manner as to interrupt its proceeding or to impair the respect thereof, respect due to it. Okay, what are the magic words? To impair its proceeding or to disturb. Duterte was testifying, freewheeling. The understanding between the chairman and the resource persons was very cordial, very fluid. And Duterte was never involved in disturbing the proceedings. As a matter of fact, he was allowed. And the words spoken na putang ina has always been his expression. It's part of his being...
Sila kilala.
And that's why the chairman, case-to-case basis, has allowed it.
Mm-hmm.
Except that mayroong isa na talagang may hatred kay Duterte. Walang gagawin si Duterte na tama, kundi susuplahin itong huntivirus na ito. And ito ay kakampi ni Escudero. So pareho sila, naguguluhin nila si Duterte just for the sake of uttering words that are part of his testimony.
In fact, Secretary, yung interventions and interferences ni Huntivirus were the ones that was disruptive of the hearing.
Can you imagine, dapat nga siya ang ilagay sa ethics, itong si Huntivirus, because wala siyang respeto sa mga kasama niya, kagaya ni Jinggoy, interrupt siya ng interrupt. Kagaya ni Bato, interrupt siya ng interrupt. Hindi niya hintayin yung kanyang dahil gusto niyang suplahin si Duterte.
At saka nagsasalita pa Pangulo, binabara niya.
Binabara na niya.
Hindi makatapos. At one point, sabi ng chairman, shall we please let the President finish his statement?
Yes. Yun dapat ang unethical conduct of Hontiveros. Tapos, siya ang unethical, siya pa ngayon ang magpupuna kay Duterte. When she knows that he was just relating all these things or answering the questions, and the words spoken as putang ina was part of his explanation, was part of his presentation.
In fact, bilib ako dun sa deliberation niya kasi as a lawyer, I was expecting him to be technical. Pero dito, he was speaking in layman's language kasama yung mga expletives and expression of anger, within the context of the narrative.
Yeah. Tapos, bastos daw, nagsasabi na ganyan. Ikaw ang bastos. Napakabastos mo. Dahil ini-interrupt mo ang mga kasama mo na hindi mo pa naman time. You always say, can I interject? Can I interject? Wala kang modo. O, ikaw dapat ang ibalagay sa Committee on Ethics. Not Duterte or for that matter.
Mas importante pa
Dapat
sa'yo.
pag-aralan mo yan, Escudero, na it was your best mate, Hontiveros, that is the one that should be investigated for unethical conduct. Yun ang totoo.
Pero kanina, anyway,
Yes.
towards the end of this episode, meron tayong banggit kung bakit hindi sa lower house nagpunta si Duterte. Sa upper house.
Okay.
Bakit? Ano ba nangyari doon sa lower house? Meron bang...
Well, Duterte knew all along when he heard of the Garma testimony na it was entirely false, entirely creation, entirely hearsay. So he lost respect and he doesn't want to be participating in a farce committee. And true enough,
Di ba merong pulis na nag-testify?
and true enough, we will discuss why Duterte has preferred to appear in the Senate than to appear in the House because he has lost his respect.
Loaded yung house.
And he knows that they are out to destroy him for whatever or no matter what para sirain talaga siya
So, hindi
So,
magiging in aid of legislation, but in aid of demolition.
in aid of demolition.
So,
So,
pointless.
at with due respect, nothing personal, we are just clarifying and we are not defending Duterte because I was his political advisor. You were his good friend.
Tayo.
We are just commenting on the fact that itong mga nagsasalita tungkol sa kanya at against him are saying nonsense.
Partisan masyado.
Yeah, they're politically partisan.
Huwag kalimutang mag-subscribe dito sa Paras kay Paras at i-click ang notification bell. At mag-subscribe na rin sa YouTube channel ko at Ado Paglinawan.
Magandang hapon po muli. Marami pong salamat sa pakinig nyo sa Iparas kay Paras.